Tomatoes. There are so many of them out there. And they're the most disgusting thing in the world. Could you imagine just like cutting those things up and then all that gushy stuff goes out? Anyways, I hate tomatoes. And a lot of you probably are the same way, but you probably also like things that they're in, such as pastas, pizza sauces, just diced up and put into things where you just don't see them or hear them, taste them, or anything, you know? Today, I'm actually going to kind of show you some things with tomatoes. Now, I have got quite a lot of tomatoes, and they're all kind of varieties, so let's go over them real quick. First up, we actually have black Krim. So this is actually a Ukrainian tomato strain that started coming over here, I don't know, sometime in the past, I imagine, since it wasn't today. But as you can see, it grows some very nice tomatoes here. So these are actually heirloom tomatoes. So the thing about heirloom tomatoes and GMOs is that GMOs, obviously, they have been genetically modified. They are more disease resistant, stuff like that, whereas heirlooms, you know, you're gonna have to put in some work, basically, is what it boils down to. But that's okay, because if you do some prep work, which we'll get to in a little bit, heirlooms will not be a problem for you. I mean, you could probably still have some issues because certain strains have issues with bottom rot a little bit more than, say, others, and these are not doing it. They're doing pretty good. So but right next to it, though, we have Cherokee Purple. Now, first thing you'll notice is that this one is really short. This one is pretty tall. So if you're wanting something for space, then this black Krim might be your ideal option here. Whereas, say, this here purple Cherokee, or Cherokee Purple. Cherokee Purple. So basically what you got here is another of the purple or whatever variety plants, and I mean, they make some pretty good ones too. This is another heirloom. I think all of these are in this batch are heirloom. Oh, that one might not be, I don't know, but these two are definitely heirloom. So, but as you can see, they produce a nice one, and this one might get a little bit taller, but probably about the height that it's going to reach. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know where it is. Right next to it, we got the slightly taller one right here, as you can see, and that one is a purple zebra. I like to I don't know, these purples are just cool. And then it's making some pretty good ones. I'm gonna need to support this though, because I mean, it could probably hold it, but it's just better. I can just run a piece of string up to one of these up here, one of these little pieces of metal, and it'll be just fine. But this one won't be able to, so I don't know. We might just let it roll and see what happens. But that one's going to be another one. And all three of these are good for saucing, things like that, which is basically what I'm going for. I'm trying to figure out which ones I need to grow in order to, you know, make a good sauce. So, you know, there's not a lot of them here, but I'm still trying to figure out which ones actually are the good ones. So, crazy enough, right here next to it, this is a marigold that I grew from seed. Look at that freak. That thing is just tall. It's the tallest marigold I have ever seen. Anyways, this whole raised bed is all Roma tomatoes. So obviously Roma tomatoes are a very good base for a lot of pasta sauces. So obviously we're going to have more of those than the more unique flavored ones. Got a few more tomato plants. Like I said, I got a lot of tomato plants. We are called Plant Hoarders Anonymous for a reason. So this is a cherry tomatoes, cherry 100, I believe is what it's called. And as you can see already, it is doing great. Look at that line of tomatoes right there, and then it's about to have some more over here, and it just produces all those are going to be tomatoes right there. I mean, tomatoes, and these. So a lot of these plants are what you would call indeterminate. So as they grow and you pick the fruit, more fruit's going to come. So you want to actually be harvesting as they're ready, because that's going to actually promote more and more and more. So if you want a good harvest continuously throughout the season, then you need to go ahead and, you know, just harvest all the time whenever they're ready. And then right here, this one is another, obviously they're all going to be indeterminate. But this one grows kind of viney, which a lot of them do, except for that very first one. And this one is a Sunny Boy. So this one's going to be more of a yellow. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know what it tastes like. We're gonna have once all of these are good, we're gonna be doing some tasting. But I can already tell you, I see one of these tomatoes is gonna have an issue, as you can see right there. Let me see here. Yeah. So as you can see right there, that is what we call bottom rot. Okay. So the reason why you get bottom rot is because when they grow to a certain point, and if they grow too fast, then they can't keep up the calcium uptake, and you get issues like that. Or it could be a watering issue, but I know it's not a watering issue because I have a system, and pretty sure it's just it grew so fast. It did grow crazy fast, so I'll have to check to see what was in that soil, but it's the same soil I use for everything, and all the other stuff has been just fine. So it's just this one freak plant, and like I said, every plant's different. So this one didn't necessarily like it, and it really liked it because it grew extremely fast. And so, but we'll get into that here soon. Okay, so when you're planting up your tomato plants, basically you want to consider the right size pot. So if you're using a bucket, they're typically 5 gallons. But this right here would be considered a 5-gallon as well. So we are going to use these 5-gallon. Is it 5 gallon? Yep, they're 5 gallon. So we're going to use these. So we're going to go ahead and put some dirt in them. All right. So we got both of them here. We're going to basically, we'll make a deep hole though. We don't want like some small rinky-dink hole. We want it to be a girthy hole because we have things to do. Make that big old hole. Yeah. Okay, so reason why we have such a big hole, for one, let's take this one. So this one's a different variety. This one is a Black Prince. So we're going to take that. But what we're going to do here is we're going to remove a lot of these lower stems. And I think that's going to be pretty good. That should be pretty good. So basically, yeah, removed everything from there down. And so then we'll take this thing and we're going to stick it up in there. Now, this is one that is meant for vining and whatnot, so we will be putting a stake on it, so basically to keep it vertical. But we can set that one aside for right now because it will get mulch. But I'll show you that thing again because I don't think I actually showed you. Now, just put that with that guy. We actually have 2 plants here. I'm not going to split them. Normally people would split these when there are 2 of them because they might smother each other, but they've already been getting used to it. So we're just going to remove these leaves. Boom, boom. We're going to go all the way up to here. Boom. So basically right there. So, and these are kind of dry. I got these for $1. At this point right now you could basically go to any greenhouse and these plants are on sale, so I had to go and save them. I mean, obviously they all look so sad. The reason why you go so high up pulling that stuff off is because if you remember one of my shorts, blight comes from the soil. So even what I'm seeing right here, I'm actually thinking that I'll probably remove that and that, and actually that one too. And yeah, I think that'll be good. So we'll put in some mulch right here, and this one it'll be upright. It won't be laid down, which I might throw a little bit more dirt in there. Nice and sturdy, and boom. Yeah. So next though. Alright. A lot of people don't like mulch. I get it. You can use straw if you want to as well. I use this 100% recycled. There's no dyes, nothing like that put in it. You can literally just go down to any tree trimmer and stuff like that. They shred it. They more than likely have mulch that was just a tree. So that is as organic as you can get. But A good 2-inch-ish layer. That is enough to retain the moisture. And I say ish. It's not exactly 2 inches. It might be like 1.5 inches. But that right there. There we go. Look at that. Boom. Done. So you got them in the pots. Everything's looking good, but you're not done yet because you have a lot of stuff still that needs to be done in order for these things to mature properly. So first thing, do not put nutrients in it at first. Remember we were talking about the rot, the bottom rot. A lot of that's because it grows too fast, too early. So first 2 weeks, don't put anything in it. And then when you do start feeding it, feed it and then go to maybe 3 weeks in between. And then slowly maybe work it up to once a week, or stay at 2 weeks. Honestly, I kind of like that 2 weeks, because there's that whole thing of less is more, because if you overdo it, then it could kill them. So with that thought, you always want to kind of go with the less is more method. But one other thing you need to do. So as you can see, let's see, this one's probably the best one you can see it. So as you can see right here at this Y. This Y, now I've done some shorts on it, but right here, this guy right here, that is called a sucker. So we are going to remove all those suckers on this one and on this one, and they continue to grow throughout the season. So you pretty much have to continue to look at it. Like this one right here, it looks really nice, but it's a sucker. So we're gonna just take that off. I use my fingers. I mean, I can just go in, and it's easier than going and getting some scissors or something like that, and you just pull that off, and then there we go. Just everywhere there's a little Y, just take it. Even like so, like right here, this one's weird. I'd probably leave that though, because this looks like it's kind of 2 of them, and so I'm gonna let that hang out. Well, I'll keep an eye on it though. But other than that, oh, yeah, almost missed you. Get out of there. And then over here, this one right here, yeah, get out of there. Okay, so all the other ones I'm gonna kind of just watch and keep an eye on. And like I said, they continue to come up through them. So like this one over here, it's been going, but this one right here, I didn't see it. So boom, removed you. And I mean, I'm sure there's some on this one that I haven't seen, because it's growing and it's gone through the green bean trellis, and now it's all the way up to here. I mean, it's crazy, this thing, how it grows. Yep, there he is. There's one. And then this one right here. So the suckers, they draw energy away from producing the tomatoes that you actually want. So that's one, so this one isn't making anything, but it is still in the center. And yes, it is big, but it's still a sucker. So we get rid of it, and there's no issues. So this one is still a good one, but based on a lot of the blight that I've been having here lately, I'm gonna just go ahead and get rid of that anyways, because we don't need that. Okay, so it's been growing. Look at them, they look fantastic. But you've noticed some issues. Maybe the pale leaves, which we've already discussed, is nitrogen, needs nitrogen. So if you're feeding it something, check the nitrogen in it. Maybe it doesn't have enough. Maybe it was made more for flowering. So okay, so we know that it's not nitrogen, but then we see maybe some weird little spots showing up on the leaves and stuff like that. Well, if you did everything like you're supposed to, putting the mulch down and the barrier between the soil and the plants, and you've trimmed the bottom leaves, then it could still be blight. So if it's little spots that you can see, and they almost look like rust, and then they're going to yellow, and they're spreading throughout, and they're starting at the bottom, it's more than likely blight. So treat it. Now, organic treatments are obviously going to be trim what's there, get rid of it. Anything that you see with it, just get rid of it, because if you leave it, it's just going to continue to spread. Now, a lot of people like to use coppercide, or it's an copper spray, whatever. It's an herbicide. I tend to avoid anything that has the last 4 letters of CIDE. That's like herbicide, pesticide.